Y'all don't see it that way. Y'all like, oh, he's a hardworking man. I'm probably gonna have to bring him stuff and help him out. Yes, but you have to do that with the six-figure man anyway. Because what makes you think you're gonna sit back and do nothing? That's the problem. You're living in a fantasy world. You think women are just sitting back doing nothing, and that's far from the truth. There's no woman who's dating a six-figure man who's just sitting back doing nothing. And a lot of these women don't, because they don't listen to married women, they hear about all these struggles. I'm like, you're hearing about the struggles of a single woman. You don't listen to married women. Married women would tell you that there's work, but the reason why they love it is because their man works along with them. They work along to see the vision. That's the foundation of the family, the vision. That's the table. The problem is that when y'all settle for a man, or when y'all get with a man, y'all don't want to contribute to that table. What y'all want to do is, I have a table of my own. The problem with that is women don't normally have tables. I'm like, because visions and things about the future, those are things that men think about. Because if y'all thought about the future, y'all wouldn't try to get married old. Y'all would try to get married a little bit younger. Y'all wouldn't try to get married old. Because y'all see that getting married when you're older, though it's not a bad thing, but all you've done, like they said, is give yourself more traumas and everything. You have experiences, but you've also taken more traumas, which makes it harder to pair bond with you because you've taken on more men. It's not like you're like, okay, I'm 21, I'm just gonna, work all my life and this, that. No, you go out, you party, you start fucking different niggas. Y'all do all these things, y'all get all these experiences, y'all get broken hearts. And then you turn 30. Oh, my standards are this nigga needs to make six figures. You know why all that stuff happens? Because you had all these bad experiences. Because you just kept picking the wrong men. So if you're going to do that, then you may as well just get married when you're young. Oh, but what if they haven't figured out their life? Didn't figure it out. It's the same situation. The only difference is you're inside of a marriage. You're protected by the clauses of that marriage. And unless the man's going to be abusive, you're pretty much going to have the life you were going to have anyway. Because inside the marriage, especially if you marry somebody around your age, you two are still going to be working towards something. That's why it's great to have the vision, the foundation for what you want your family to be. But y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want what y'all want is y'all say, well, y'all say guys are supposed to, that's your first mistake. You start comparing yourself to men. But go ahead. Oh, so guys are supposed to not sleep with all these girls or anything. But guys are supposed to have certain experiences because that's what takes them through the fire so that they can learn to overcome. That's why we get on these men who are trying to have everything easy, who are trying to have all these victories and no losses. Because they don't want the experience of becoming a man, but they want to say they're a man. It's like, no. Part of becoming a man is learning to take loss. Learning that when you walk up to a girl, she's going to have to reject you. Because if she don't reject you, and she really likes you, oh, you're good. But now you've never experienced rejection. So let's say you and her get married and everything goes good, then she divorces you. Then you become like Coach Greg Adams. You get out there telling everybody they shouldn't be married because of your one divorce. Never mind the fact that, well, why are you promoting not getting married when you yourself are the ones who made your mistakes? You're telling everybody they shouldn't get married based on what? Based on what you did. But if we don't do what you did, then there's a high possibility we won't get divorced. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. You let somebody like that push their insecurities and their failures on you. Instead of you, and you're scared to experience that failure. And that's the thing. Because you're scared, it makes you less of a man.
It's the whole, if I can't do it, no one can mindset. And it's like, well, that's not true.
Yeah.
Because if anybody around Michael Jordan was like, well, I can't dunk, I can't do this, that, and the third. If he listened to them like, oh, y'all can't do it, oh, then that means I can't do it.
Exactly.
Then he would never practice until he can do what he does and become the GOAT.
Yeah.
It's literally because I fail at relationships, everyone else fails at relationships. Like, no, that's not how that works. You are part of a group of people who do fail at relationships because y'all have a lot of the same type of mindset that caused y'all to fail. But here's the thing. There's people who are in relationships and they're happy and they're doing great. Why? Mm-hmm. Because they have a different mindset than you.
Yeah.
So you should be looking at them, the ones who have the successful relationships, and learn from their mindset. Try to figure out why their relationship work while everyone else who relationship doesn't work, why it doesn't work. And you have to look at what works and what doesn't work. If you want a certain outcome like a good relationship, then you look at good relationships. You don't look at bad relationships and try to figure out how a good relationship is supposed to be based off of a bad relationship.
Yeah.
You don't look at burnt chicken and try to figure out how to make chicken good, how to cook it right. No, you look at somebody who successfully cooked the chicken right and be like, all right, what do you do to get that outcome? Because I want some good chicken. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And a lot of people don't do that nowadays because we're so driven by the negative. You know, just looking at it, seeing that Chris Brown made a diss track, you know, hearing about all these people making diss tracks, and it's like, has the music gone stale again? That's why everybody's just dissing everybody for the fun of it. Oh, it's just because at the end of the day, no matter how many diss tracks you make, it'll never be like it was back in the day. Back in the day when they made diss tracks, they didn't really mess with those guys. They didn't fuck with them for a while. Even if they eventually got back together, like in the future, it wasn't for a while. You really believe that those were enemies. Like, that's the purpose of a diss track, is to create an enemy. Nowadays, people are just creating diss tracks because maybe their music is getting stale. Maybe they need to sell records. And so it's like, yeah.
So now it's more of a show.
Yeah.
More performance than.
Yeah. There's no real ill intent, you know, because then they'll just apologize. You know, I was just doing it for the music.
Example that I saw the Beyonce joint where they had light skinned Beyonce.
Right.
And people were like, oh, and somebody pointed out, it's like, yeah, this is just for clickbait.
Yeah.
It's just, it's hate bait. It's to have people complain, and that's how they're going to promote whatever she's promoting.
Yeah.
By having a white face Beyonce.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that's been a thing for a while. You think that y'all will get wise to it and stop feeding it by literally hating it.
How does that feel?
Because, you know, I support the idea of, you know, single by choice if the idea is that you're going to stop randomly dating people. Just randomly dating people to see if it works. And focus on figuring out, are you good in relationships? Like, if you were with an ideal guy, can you and him be good? Or if you end up with the ideal guy, are you going to be lazy? Are you going to be self-entitled and so forth? You gotta reflect inwards on, like, are you a good partner to somebody, to your ideal partner, as opposed to thinking, oh, I want a guy like this, or I want a woman like this, and it doesn't matter what I bring. It doesn't matter. They will love me for who I am, and it's like, but do you love you for who you are? As in, are you sure that you are lovable? Are you the type of person that somebody will be like, oh my God, this is my perfect ideal person. This is the person that I want. But that's the way you should have the mindset. Most of us who are good in relationships, that's the way we look at it. We look at, oh, she acts, she looks, she behaves, she has a lifestyle that that I'm a fan of, right? It's like I can see myself being with her, either as just a friend, right? Because we have a lot in common and whatnot. So I could, just be friends, or I can see her as more than friends. I can see her as a wife. Like, there's potential there, and that's the thing, is looking at how my personality and how I do things will match what she does things. It's like our lives together would be more interesting, and it will mesh well, as opposed to being opposing, where I'm looking at her like, yeah, she's hot, but her personality is trash, but because she's hot, I'm gonna tolerate the trashness, and I'm gonna just do me and do things the way I want. And she has a problem with it. Well, too bad. And it's like, no, that's coming into in bad faith.
Yeah.
You're not respecting the fact that it's like you. If she's not more than just that one thing you like about her, if she's not your everything, then don't bother her. Don't waste time with her. Same thing goes for guys. Like, if he's not your everything, don't bother. If he's not the guy who'll take you on dates, who'll automatically call you his girlfriend, you know, who plans to have a future with you, you know, who obviously wants to be intimate with you. If he's not all those things combined, then stop dealing with these dudes who like, yeah, you got a fat ass, so let's go to my place, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then we complain like, why he doesn't want to be my boyfriend? Because he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not the guy that is going to give you all the things you want.
Yeah.
So leave him alone.
Yeah. I know it's fun being with him, but it's not the one that's going to give you what you're looking for. You kind of know this, and so yeah, you really should just call it quits. Don't expect them to change. Most people don't just change. And if they are the person that's going to change, you would have seen it by now. The thing is that it doesn't take long because that person understands that time is a commodity to a lot of people. So their time is worth something, and they don't want it to be wasted. You know, even I said, I'm like, if I was able to meet a girl and she was like, yo, you just tick off all my boxes, I would just say, okay, well, these are my plans. And if she aligns with my plans, I have no problem with, you know, setting it up to see an engagement within the next year after the relationship has started and we've gotten serious. Because not only do I see a future, but if she sees what I see, we see a way to the future and how to make it happen. Because I also recognize that a girl in my age group, we're not getting any younger. And so I understand that. I understand that certain women, they want to be married by a certain age. And I totally, fully respect that. I've met women that I tell you right off the bat, listen, within 6 months, if this is working, I want to be engaged. I've met a woman that was like that, and I said, okay, that's fine with me. We didn't work out, but I totally understood. And it was not about it being an ultimatum. I just respected her time. And I respected that if we found points in a relationship that were working for us, and that there would be nothing else that I would need to see. Because she was straightforward and she let me know, okay, this is how we communicate. This is how you want things to go. You know, I think more people should be like that. Be more straightforward. A lot of people don't want to be, though, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it, especially if you're at a certain age. I would say, yeah, you might have your whole life and everything, but like I would say between 27 and 35. If you're between those ages, especially as a guy, and you've got things figured out, you should be looking to see if there's a girl in your vicinity that you want to lock down. Not saying to lock her down, but, you know, start qualifying them. And for women, if you've not chosen to get married earlier, or if you have, that you start looking at more guys that qualify personality-wise. Because when you were younger, yes, all those crazy qualifications might have worked, but, you know, as you get older, you might want to start simplifying your list so that the guy satisfies your needs. Because we all know that we get to a certain point where we have to have our needs met. So as long as this guy can meet all your needs, everything else can be compromised on. I said it the other day that a large problem is men are willing to sacrifice but not really compromise. Women love to compromise but not really sacrifice. And that's where we have to be able to meet. Men understand the meaning of sacrifice. We understand the things we have to give up. But a lot of the things that coincide with having a successful relationship we're having problems with is compromising on certain things. A lot of men don't want to compromise, and some rightfully so. Some of them like, no, I just want to call the shots and everything, and that's fine. But for women, that's a big thing. For women, compromising is a big thing, especially since, if they come into a relationship and they have to put money on bills and they have to pay all this stuff, yeah, they're going to want certain compromises. Their problem is they don't understand sacrificing. First thing that I always discuss with my people is, how about sacrificing the fact that your guy's got to be a male supermodel? Like, because so many women look for the top tier looking guy, which is great. You have to be attracted to your partner, but y'all ignore so many men don't catch your eye. That when a guy does walk up to you and does get your attention, and let's say he looks moderately okay, you start looking for reasons to disqualify it. And I always said that, you might want to try to give him a few more chances to qualify and see, because you might be missing out on a really good dude, and the dude that you actually been looking at is probably married. The dude you've been looking at all night, he's probably married. Not too many good-looking dudes out here still single. They've got somebody. So that's something you have to deal with.
Definitely somebody to share a bed with, but doesn't necessarily mean a relationship. But
it's
a good-looking guy or a successful guy, any guy who's doing really, really well in life, and it's noteworthy, he's gonna have options.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna be without.
Yeah.
Same goes for ladies.
Yeah. That's the sad part.
The more attractive you are, the less issues you should have when it comes to options of partners.
Right.
Just understand that good guys and bad guys, the guys who want to give you a relationship and the guys that don't want to give you a relationship, they all ultimately want the same thing. They still want sex because you're hot.
Yep.
That's the first thing they both notice.
Yep.
You're hot. Then there's the, she's hot. I don't have to do nothing. I just gotta talk to her and she'll give me the booty. That's that guy. Then there's the one like, I'll make money. I'll do this, that, and third. I'll pay for trips. I'll do whatever she wants. And that's the guy that you definitely like stuff from, but not the relationship part. Yeah. But you have the option to choose.
Mm-hmm. And that's the benefit of the society that we're in right now. So, they say don't hate the player, hate the game. And it's like, yeah, well, the game is in your favor. So if the game is in your favor, then the only ones who can fix the game if it's all messed up is you. Mm-hmm. So I say it's really on women. The community's issues is on the men. I'll say that. I said that on the post.
The infrastructure, society stuff.
Our standings and everything, the lack of wealth, that's all on the men.
Yep, lack of hierarchy, lack of structure.
I always put that on the men. But when it comes to the male to female the male to female relationship, the direction that it goes in, the health of it, I always say that falls at the feet of the woman. They are the carers, the nurturers. They're the ones who set the standard. They're the ones who technically pick. We make ourselves presentable. We get ourselves to a hierarchy, and they pick.
Yeah, we make ourselves useful.
Yeah.
Because it's the idea that they're the visionaries and we're the ones to bring it to life.
When it comes to the relationship, they really are truly the pickers. Because if they don't want you, they will go find somebody else to want.
Yeah. Even if you have all the things that, like if you got the money, the looks, and the status, and this, that, and that, you could be the perfect guy. And if they don't want you, they don't want you.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, because the things that they're attracted to and the things that they want are so multiversal, and it changes all the time.
It's ironic. A lot of times, the ideal guy for them could be like a guy who's 80 years old, but because they don't find 80-year-old guys attractive, or maybe he's not that attractive, at least in the face. He might have an alright body because he works out, but face-wise, not ideal, even though he checks everything. A lot of the stuff, it's like, he's old. And that could be the one small disqualifier, even though he's like 99% ideal.
Yeah.
And vice versa, a young guy, who got his shit together and stuff like that. But you might be like, but he's too young for me. It's like, but he's in his 20s. He's more than legal, and he checks all your boxes. But because he's too young for you, you disqualify him, even though would have worked out great because he does check all your boxes.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will definitely agree and say, I do wish that, we did have our wants and needs out there, that we could just put them out there in the universe, and then the universe finds somebody. Because like I said, if I could create that app, I definitely would. I do think that there's somebody for anybody who's really serious about having relationships and everything. For people who just want to fool around and everything, I think that the state of everything is fine for them. I think that they're getting exactly what they want. To those who are complaining and only want that, step your game up. If all you want to do is sleep with women, but you're not able to sleep with women, then step your game up. Get your money up, get your swag up. That's it.
That way you can pay for the upgrades and the premiums of your Bumble and your Tinders and stuff, so you can match up with the hot girls more often.
Yeah, and get your game up so that when you meet them, you're not forfeiting your chances by saying something or doing something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Be a man about yours. Just stand on your square. You get what you're looking for eventually, even if it's not that one. One of them will bite.
If all you care about is fish, and you don't have a particular taste of fish, it's not like you want shark or whale or something. You might just want, you'll just eat anything. So then tuna, salmon, trout, whatever is available, then you have the pick of the litter. You just pick whatever satisfies you at the time. But if you want quality, you don't have to pay for it. You're going to have to go deep. You want that elusive, kraken or something, megalodon or something that's very rare.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work because it's very rare.
The work indeed, man. The work indeed.
Page Man Kung Fu diss track coming soon.
Who are you dissing? All of them.